What was the connection between one of the greatest minds of our time, Stephen Hawking, and the notorious Epstein Island? This question might sound like the plot of a Hollywood thriller, but it's a real-life mystery that we're going to unravel today. Stephen Hawking, the world-renowned physicist and cosmologist, was known for his groundbreaking work on black holes and his best-selling book, A Brief History of Time. But his name also surfaced in connection with Jeffrey Epstein's private island, colloquially known as Epstein Island, after Epstein's arrest in 2019. Our story begins in the spring of 2013. Stephen Hawking, along with a group of leading physicists and cosmologists, was invited to a conference on the island. The event was sponsored by Epstein's foundation, which had a history of funding scientific and educational projects. The conference was an opportunity for these brilliant minds to discuss the latest developments in their fields, away from the distractions of the outside world. However, the idyllic setting masked a darker reality. Epstein Island was later revealed to be the site of numerous alleged sexual abuses committed by Epstein and his associates. When the news broke, the scientific community and the public were aghast to know of Hawking's visit to the island. Although there is no direct evidence implicating Hawking in any illicit activities during his visit, his presence on the island during such a period of heinous crimes has raised eyebrows. His journey was allegedly for scientific purposes, and he was accompanied by AI of his colleagues. The conference was touted as a legitimate scientific event, yet the attendees' ignorance of Epstein's criminal activities remains questionable. The mystery persists, leaving room for speculation over Hawking's involvement in the alleged activities on Epstein Island. Despite his public image as a brilliant scientist and a role model, there was a side of Stephen Hawking that was seldom addressed in the media. His life outside the realm of science was far from the typical professor stereotype. It was filled with controversy and actions that would raise eyebrows, especially in light of the Epstein Island revelations. Hawking was known to frequent and even patronize strip clubs. He did not shy away from such activities, and there were even instances where he invited strippers to his home, much to the chagrin of his wives. Both of his marriages ended in divorce, and these actions were cited among the reasons. Even more shocking, Hawking had confided in fellow science fiction author Arthur C. Clarke about his attraction to early teen girls. In their conversations, Hawking didn't just speak about attractions, but about his own feelings of guilt and struggle with societal norms. He expressed a sense of frustration over the difference between his public image and his private life, and his inability to reconcile the two. Clarke, in turn, challenged Hawking to reconsider his actions and the consequences they could have on his reputation. As we delve deeper into the mystery, a different portrait of Stephen Hawking emerges, one that challenges the perception of the man we thought we knew. Given Hawking's physical condition, many have wondered about his potential involvement in the alleged abuses. As we remember, Stephen Hawking suffered from a motor neuron disease that left him almost entirely paralyzed. His physical limitations would have made it impossible for him to engage in any physical abuse on Epstein Island. However, it's important to note that abuse can take many forms, not all of which are physical. If Hawking had been involved in any of the alleged activities, it's likely his role might have been more intellectual or manipulative than physical in nature. Perhaps he could have been a strategist, masterminding schemes behind the scenes. Theories loom large that Hawking's brilliant mind might have been exploited in these dubious activities, and the mere possibility of his involvement continues to fuel heated debates and conjecture. Being paraplegic does not free one from accusations of sexual abuse and exploitation. You might think that the lack of physical ability precludes someone from engaging in such activities, but that's a narrow view of a complex issue. Even if they lack the means of physical pleasure, individuals can still derive pleasure from the feeling of power and control. This raises the question, could Hawking's condition have made him want to compensate for his lack of control of his own body by controlling and abusing vulnerable women? The power dynamics in such situations are complex and often overlooked. We must remember that abuse is not always physical. It can be psychological and emotional too. A person of Hawking's intellectual stature might have been seen as an authority figure, someone who could manipulate and control others. This is not to say that Hawking did engage in such behavior, but it's important to recognize the potential for abuse in these situations. While there is no evidence to suggest that Hawking was involved in any wrongdoing, the fact that he was present on the island during such a dark period of its history continues to stir controversy and speculation. Moving deeper into the realm of speculation, one particularly intriguing theory is that Hawking might have been given access to a custom-made molestation machine. This machine, if it existed, would be controlled by the same interface he used to control his wheelchair and speech device. Imagine a device that could be manipulated with the same precision as Hawking's voice synthesizer, but with a far more sinister purpose. Equipped with a range of features designed to exert control and dominance, it's a chilling concept to consider. Would it have been capable of physical touch, intimidation, or even a form of sexual interaction? The ethical implications of such a device are staggering. To create a machine with the express purpose of enabling abuse would be an unfathomable violation of trust and human dignity. It would represent the darkest side of technological advancement, where innovation is used not to uplift, but to degrade and harm. Let's delve deeper into the speculation about the machine's design and potential use. The machine might have featured motorized metallic arms and fingers, capable of touch and manipulation. It could have been programmed to exert varying levels of pressure, allowing for a range of interactions from a gentle touch to a forceful grip. This would give the user an unprecedented level of control over their victim, without the need for physical strength or proximity. What could Hawking have done with such a device? The possibilities are chilling to consider. He could have used it to intimidate, to control, to exploit. He might have used it to exert his power in ways that were previously unthinkable. Could he have used it to touch, to hurt, to violate? These are questions that we may never have answers to. The ethical implications of such a device are profound. It forces us to confront the uncomfortable reality of how technology can be misused in the hands of those with power and control. In a society that is increasingly reliant on technology, this speculation serves as a stark reminder that innovation is not always used for the betterment of mankind. Sometimes it can be used to exploit and harm. Epstein's motives for inviting these brilliant minds and funding such extravagant events might seem altruistic on the surface, but a deeper look reveals a more sinister agenda. His investment in the molestation machine, as speculated, could have been a way to keep tabs on Hawking, ensuring his loyalty and obedience. Epstein had a pattern of using his wealth and influence to control, manipulate, and exploit others. His funding could have been a means to build a network of influential figures, indebted to him and under his control. Epstein could have gained several benefits from having these influential figures in his debt. This could have granted him access to confidential information, potential blackmail material, or simply the prestige of association with such esteemed intellectuals. The power dynamics at play are chilling to consider, as they reveal how wealth and influence can be grossly misused. While Epstein's actions might have seemed generous, they were likely part of a larger strategy of control and manipulation. His investments were not just financial, but also strategic, aimed at consolidating his power and control over others. The cost of his generosity, it seems, was far greater than anyone could have imagined. The Epstein flight logs have been a source of much speculation and controversy. They serve as a chilling record of Epstein's extensive network, revealing the names of many prominent figures who traveled on his private jet. It's worth noting that the names on this list are evidence of wrongdoing. However, their presence does not absolve anyone of suspicion either. No one should be above suspicion, even their dead, paraplegic, and a groundbreaking scientist who was a hero to many.